Now we need to create the final section of this homepage, which is the footer section. We can see that we have the default Materialize red background, and then we have a grid system with 4 columns with headings and links. These links are placed in unordered lists and they have the default blue color. To the right side we have an address, email and phone with icons in front of it. At the very bottom we have a copyright notice. Let's see how this grid works. We have here nested grids. So first we can see that we have everything stacked on top of each other. Then when we reach the medium breakpoint right there, we can see that they turn into a 2-column grid, but we can see in the code here that this is a nested grid system inside of the main one right here. This is the main one, this is one of the nested and the other of the nested grid systems. So they turn into a 2-column grid on medium devices, and then on large devices the main grid system will turn into a 2-column grid as well, which makes it a 4-column grid because this is 2 nested grids inside of the main one. So that's what we're going to build now. We'll start at the very end of our code, just before the script tags, and create a footer tag with the class page footer. Inside of this we'll add a container using a div tag with the class container to center the content on our page and give it the max width. Then we'll start creating our grid system. First we have a div tag with the class row, and inside of this we have another div tag with the class col, S12 and L6. So now inside of this we'll create a nested grid system using another div tag with the class row, and one more div tag for the column inside of this, col S12 M6. So notice that this column will take up half of the width on medium sizes, and the outer column won't do that until we reach the large breakpoint. Then it turns into a 6-column width as well. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Now we'll create our first heading element with the text quick links, and then we'll create an unordered list, and to remove the bullets we add the class no bullet. So this will style it as a simple list. Inside of this we add a list item and then an anchor tag, and these values will lead, for the href attribute, will lead to our various pages on this project here. So I'm just gonna update these values. We'll create each of these pages afterwards. And then we have the team page. And finally, we have the contact page. Like so. All right. Then we can simply copy and paste this column here. We'll update the text in the heading to information. Then we'll select all of these and simply do like this so they don't have a specific value. And we'll change the text to legal information, job opportunities, and frequently asked questions. Like so. All right. Let's copy and paste this right now. And now we'll go and create one more grid here. So first, after this column that we have right up here, we'll create another column similar to this, like so. Inside of this we'll create our second nested grid system. just like we did before. The row class, and then the classes call is 12 and M6. And now I can paste in this information here. We'll update this text to be follow us. And then we'll change the text to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Unfortunately, the Materialize icons doesn't have brand icons, so we cannot use icons for these 5 social medias in an easy way, so we'll skip that. Now we'll create our final column here using the same classes as before, and the heading will have the text, our location. Then we'll add the address tag like so, and wrap our company in a strong tag to make it visually strong with a bold font. Company name, and close the strong tag. We'll add a line break, then add street name, one more line break, and then zip code like so, and city, and one more line break, and then we'll create a link for the phone number and email with an icon in front of it. So first we add the I tag with the class material icons and the text phone. This will give us the phone icon. We'll close the I tag, add a space, and then create our link. In the href attribute, we'll prefix the value with tel colon, and then add the number plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, like so. And then we can add the number as the text in a human readable fashion. So 1, 2, 3 in brackets, 4, 5, 6 dash 7, 8, 9, 0. Then we'll close the A tag again and add one more line break. Now we'll simply copy and paste all of this. We'll change the icon to a mail icon, and the value of the href will now be prefixed with mail to colon, and then info@domain.com, and we'll write the email again as text, info@domain.com. Save this, and now go down below the second last of our div tags. So this is for the main grid we have right here. We want to add a line break right there to put in our copyright notice in a paragraph. We'll give this the class center align to align it on the page. Then we'll create the copyright notice using the HTML entity ampersand copy semicolon like so. 2017 company name, all rights reserved. And we close our paragraph tag again. And this div tag is the closing div tag for the container that we created up here. All right, let's save, go back into the browser, select the right tab and refresh. Here we see that we have our footer. If we compare it to the finished project, we can see that there's some spacing issues in the bottom especially. So let's take a look on how we solve this. First of all, we'll add some padding to our footer and remove the margin in the bottom of our paragraph, which gives us this white space below it. So scroll to the top, and we'll add the footer tag, set the padding to 2 rem. Then we have the footer tag and the paragraph inside of it. We'll set the margin to 0. So let's go back and see what happens when we refresh. We can see we now have some padding in the top and bottom, and this margin bottom for the paragraph has now disappeared, so we got rid of the white line in the bottom. Now the final thing we want to do is we want to align these icons a little better along with the text. So to do this, create a style for the address tag and then the material icons class inside of it. So this is for each of the I tags. We set the vertical align property to bottom. Save, go back and refresh. Now it looks much better. So this was the footer, which is the final section of our homepage. We can now continue creating the next page, the services page.